You guys, we have unlocked a new category of bookish internet drama, and that is book threads. Now, if you are someone who basically just watches YouTube or maybe does Instagram, you might not be like super familiar with threads. I personally don't really use it. Once we all made the great exodus from Twitter, people some people went to threads, some people went to blue sky. I never was a huge Twitter user anyways, but I do prefer blue sky only because threads is still a meta company and I would like to not support anything that like Mark Zuckerberg is doing. So yes, but other people are using threads, so I'm gonna find out the drama for you. So we are going to get started with some drama that happened a few weeks ago. So this Threads user, Bookish Kate, posted this innocent little post with that says, "Happy Monday. Had to get this on my feed before I change out my Kindle insert. Is there anything cuter than baby hands? I mean, look at those dimples." She posted this picture with her Kindle that says Mama on the back with her little baby's hand. It's very cute. It is chubby, the little wrists, adorable. Well, most of these comments have now been deleted. Unfortunately, I was unable to get screenshots. But she started getting a lot of pushback from people who were saying that this was really insensitive to post. Like, because people deal with fertility, people are having issues with, anything to do with like getting pregnant and staying pregnant and delivering babies and stuff. And it was like very insensitive of her to post this, which is insane. But let's carry on. So, like I said, didn't get any screenshots, but she posted this pretty shortly after. It says, "The amount of people that unfollowed me today hurts my heart a little. I know numbers don't matter, except to publishers, but this especially hurt because it was after I posted a cute photo of my Kindle with my baby's hand. Anywho, here's the photo. Here's to hoping I can find my people." And I want to say for the record, I don't think I follow her. Maybe I should. Like, I was just like scrolling and saw someone reference this. But like, based on everything that she posts on threads, she seems delightful. Almost all of her posts are like, "How do I make friends on here? I would love to make friends with other smaller creators. Like, if you live in Canada, like, I would love to, make Canadian book talk or Bookstagram friends, whatever, book threads friends, because she's Canadian." And like, she just seems like she's not creating controversy. She's not doing anything except like being just joyful to the people that follow her. So I personally think that's absurd. Then she followed it up with this post. "I also wanted to pop on here and address a few things. One, I am so sorry that my baby post came across as insensitive. I truly didn't mean it that way. I was simply in my feels when I posted it. Two, thank you to everyone who gave me the perspective of the people who unfollowed, that they were just protecting their peace from loss, fertility issues, etc. Having experienced this before, I get it, and I'm so sorry I didn't think about it before posting." I don't think she should have had to post that and anything at all, because there are some things in life that you just have to learn to deal with. And of course, I feel so much sympathy for people who want children badly and are unable to have them and all of the struggles. And I'm sure it's really, really hard to, watch other people doing things that you wish, you had. But like, to ask other people not to share their joy is kind of crazy. And it's not like she was posting for like the purpose of making other people feel bad. She literally just wanted to show her baby's hands holding her Kindle. And to me, it's just, we've gone too far for her to even have to rationalize that in any way. I mean, like, I just lost my dad. I promise you that when Father's Day comes around or any other day, I'm not going to berate someone for posting a picture of their dad and say, "This is really insensitive to those of us without dads because, I don't have one and I wish that I did, and you're being like, I feel targeted. You're making this about, That's insane. That's wild. And I don't want kids and I've never been in that position, but to think that the world should like change, that normal things should not be posted, should not be out there because of your specific situation is crazy. If this was like her best friend and or something, like I still think it's kind of weird, but like I just think we need to learn to live in the world, and unfortunately that's going to sometimes be hard when you see other people have what you want. And but this poor girl did nothing wrong, and so I hate that she was attacked pretty hard. I'll search and see if I can find screenshots somewhere, but it seems like either she deleted them or someone else deleted them. I actually didn't even see the original post. This is a screenshot that someone else had saved, I think. So unfortunately, like, I was just unable to get any. But just knowing that, like, people were unfollowing her over this, what? Like, come on, people. We need to have some perspective and realize that this wasn't done to hurt you. This isn't about you. All right. Now, the next bit of drama that I want to talk about from BookThreads has to do with a girl named Taylor and a girl named Marianne. So Taylor, her handle is tks.library on Bookstagram. She has quite a big following. She's got 34.6 thousand followers. And she posted on Goodreads that she had started reading the book Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. Pretty shortly after she posted, and I mean, you know, that's what you do. You click on like currently reading and it shows up. So after she, you know, had basically just, you know, clicked that button, she gets a comment from someone named Marianne that says, "How are you reading this early? This was sent to Berkeley influencers and it's not even on NetGalley. I've followed you for a while and I remember you crying on Threads about how they kicked you out of their program. Have some shame, girl. Tell your friends that sending you ARCs is illegal. It's unfair to the authors, the publishers, and those of us who can't read this because we weren't accepted in the program. I'll be emailing Berkeley about this." Now, right off the bat, that's a really extreme reaction to someone simply writing, currently reading this book. I am not a part of the Berkeley Influencer Program, but you may remember a few videos ago I posted an entire review based on this book because there are other ways to get ARCs. And if you're new to my channel and you know, I may be new to this kind of like bookish space, an ARC is an advanced reader's copy of a book that hasn't come out yet for like reviewers and it, you know, booksellers, librarians, etc. And, you know, Emily Henry is a very highly sought after author to, you know, people want to get their hands on her books early, you know, people love her. And so, yeah, this was a highly anticipated one and probably hard to get. I got my copy through the Penguin Random House audiobook influencer program. Wow, that was a mouthful. But that's how I got it. And I promise you, I did read it early, even though I'm not a part of the Berkeley publishing influencer program. So yeah, she said that on her Goodreads, but she wasn't done. Oh no, Marianne took this to Threads and said this: "Bring back public shaming. Book creators that aren't in the Berkeley Romance Influencer Program getting sent exclusive digital ARCs illegally from their friends that are part of the program. It's unfair to us who got denied to this program. First, people selling physical ARCs for hundreds of dollars, and now this? I am tired of the unfairness. You shouldn't be sending e-ARCs to your friends. That's wrong and unethical. Lending a friend a physical ARC is another story." Now, then she attached the screenshots of Taylor's Instagram bio and this comment that she left on her Goodreads. This is some wild behavior. That, first of all, that is a really, really big conclusion to jump to, that she somehow got this illegally. And also, guys, like, look at the state of our country. Is this really a serious thing? We have got bigger illegal problems going on. Nevertheless, that's a really crazy thing to get so worked up about. But it doesn't end there. Now, I'm guessing that Taylor had responded to Marianne at some point. Again, I'll look for another screenshot. I haven't found one at this time. But Marianne responds, "The target has responded and will be taking matters into their own hands. As I predicted, these people weren't on the mailing list. Thank you everyone for engaging with my post and making it go viral. Hopefully these things will stop happening in the book industry. It was sad to see so many people defending these actions. Authors, publishers, and the readers that took the time and effort to apply to these programs and successfully got accepted deserve respect. The piracy of e-ARCs needs to stop." Again, unless you're actually pirating a book and putting it on the internet, that's not pirating. And even when you get sent ARCs in the mail, they tell you if you want to post about this, if you want to, we can put them in little free libraries. In fact, plenty of publishers do like fun little free library drops where they'll send you an extra copy, ARC copy of a book, and like, you take pictures putting it in a little free library, and then they put this map and like encourage people to go find the ones in their city. So there's this is absolutely just bizarre behavior and completely false. I mean, e-ARCs are a different story, but there's literally no proof that this was an e-ARC. There literally is none. And honestly, you can get e-ARCs in other ways. A few years ago, I remember this one specifically. There was a book that was coming out by an author that I had really liked a previous book from. I requested it on NetGalley. I was denied, but I really wanted to read this book. So I found a contact at Berkeley, and these things are not hard to find if you know where to look. And you just, it's not hard to find. And said like, hey, like I'm really interested in reading this. I sent them a link to the review of this author's previous book that I had loved, and was like, is there any way for me to get an ARC at this point? And they sent me a link to NetGalley. And so it's like, there's so many ways to do this, especially for an influencer with that many followers. I mean, I have half as many as she does, and I can generally get most of the ARCs that I ask for. And that's not to be a flex or anything. It's just kind of how it goes. They are not really in the business of keeping these things like close to the chest. Like, publishers want you to do the legwork for them. Like, they want you to promote their books as well. That's why ARCs exist, to get people to talk about them, to get pre-orders in. And so it's just absurd to be going off like this about like the legality of sharing an e-ARC with someone when the publisher has never told you not to. The only thing they say is to not sell them. And I feel like there's even some kind of discourse on like whether or not you can sell them after they've been released. But I personally always err on the side of caution. I just donate them to little free libraries when I'm done, if I like can't find a friend that wants it or anything. So she digs her heels in, but she did get some pushback. So Bookstagram of mine replied to her and said, I have a question. How do you know that they didn't just get the ARC through NetGalley or Edelweiss, which is a similar website, but it's definitely geared more towards librarians and booksellers than just reviewers on the internet? And she says, Great Big Beautiful Life is not available in any of those platforms. It was sent exclusively to current Berkeley influencers. The ARC that they received was sent by a third party, a friend. Again, show the receipts. Where's your proof? You're just saying stuff. Mysteries Book Nook then says to this, it was absolutely available on Edelweiss for a time for booksellers. Marianne Bookish says, good thing none of them are booksellers. Your point? The point is, you don't know shit about this industry, the myriad of ways to get ARCs. You accuse someone who is a publisher of being a pirate supporter just because she didn't. It cuts off, and apparently I didn't screenshot the rest of that comment. But yeah, I mean, the meat of what she's saying is there, that you literally don't know what you're talking about, and you're making some very, very hefty accusations about something that you really don't know about, and you're not willing to, like, show proof of this. All right, so now we have someone named Damaged Pages replying to her and saying, you don't have to be on the mailing list to receive an ARC. All you gotta do is email the publisher and hope for the best. Sometimes we just aren't picked to be the special ones, but that's okay. Someone will end up handing that ARC down to you when they finish it so you can sell it on eBay, don't worry. Which, I mean, is kind of funny. But she said, you can do that with any other book but this one. Prove me wrong. I'll wait. And Damaged Pages says, I would, but I'm not interested in it. It is so weird to say, like, this is the book. You can do it with any other book except this one. Why? Why would this book be so special? Like, I get it that it's highly anticipated and people are excited for it. But this is just, like, such a weird, like, thing to dig your heels in so hard for. Then we got someone called Mary Writes Shit, who says, former publishing publicist here. ARCs are a gift. The recipient can basically do most things with it except sell it or upload it to a pirate site. Oh, there we go. We cannot ever sell them. Not that I'm, like, again, I've never tried, but If someone was in the program and was finished with it, it's perfectly fine to give it away to a friend that was not on the mailing list, just as it's perfectly fine to put an ARC in your local little free library. And then Autistic Book Bug, this kind of goes back to an earlier thing where she said, like, thanks for making this go viral. She says, none of your posts have gone viral, only posts made by you. You have 36 followers. How are you not embarrassed? Which, like, honestly, like, I don't think anyone should ever be embarrassed by, like, how few followers they have. We all started somewhere. But also, like, girl, nothing went viral. You're talking in circles and nobody agrees with you. So she kind of could be embarrassed about that. And Mary Wright's shit comes back and says, I might also add that the kind of behavior and tone you're currently displaying towards others is a sure way to not get into any program or receive any ARCs, which, you know, seems pretty fair to say, because again, while I'm not in the publishing industry, so I don't know exactly how they decide who gets what. They look at your profiles. I mean, that's probably the one thing that they do, is look at your profiles, kind of, you know, see what's going on, what reviews you post, and like how many followers you have, etc. If someone goes on Threads and looks at this and this is what they see, they're not going to send her anything, because they're like, oh, this girl's drama. She's making just stupid shit into a big old thing, and like, why would they want to take the time with her to do any of this? Here's a screenshot of Marianne's profile where she calls herself the ARC Police, which, I mean, sure, lean into it, I guess, if you want, but like, no one's on your side. And then she says, so now she's saying that she got an ARC from Libro FM weeks later to hide the fact that she got it illegally, and you all called me a liar. She and her Dindrum friend were stealing Berkeley ARCs, and that's on period. No one calls me a liar. So I don't really know what she meant by that, but I am just gonna move on. But, like, what are you talking about? I obviously had posted this review about Great Big Beautiful Life, like, a couple weeks ago. And before that, I had time to read the book, like, write down my thoughts and review it, and then film that video. So to say that, like, she's somehow hiding it because she got it weeks earlier. I got that book as, like, an advanced listening copy weeks ago. This is bizarre. I guess this is her friend that, like, she mentioned. I don't know. This is a screenshot of her Instagram story where she says, listening to GBBL thanks to my Pookies at Libro FM for the ALC. I'm honestly really enjoying it. I'm sad. And she posts her Goodreads little thing that says she's 30% done. You guys. At this time, she also posts a reading update for another book that was actually in the same email, the same release of new ALCs. Because I'm in the Libro FM influencer program, and also Penguin Random House audiobook program. So I got copies from both. So, like, this is not impossible. I don't know what she's talking about. And to wrap this all up, she says, we have readers sending Berkeley e-ARCs to their friends illegally and offering illegal ARCs on live streams. Racist authors, pedo authors who got arrested, yay. Looser book talk influencers trashing authors and sending their fan base to bully the author for unfollowing them. And then acting innocent, readers straight up lying about GBBL by EH being good. What else? Call the police. I just feel that this girl needs, like, a moment to, like, unwind, perhaps a moment to take a step back and evaluate, like, what is important to her, because this is insane. I feel like I just keep using the same words to describe this, but, like, it doesn't even register. Like, why would this be the thing that you're going, like, out of your mind over? It makes no sense. The things in this little part that really get me are offering illegal ARCs on live streams. What? Because, like, I have done giveaways of ARCs that I've done with, it just... There's nothing that says you can't do this. She's so misinformed, and she is saying it with her whole chest. And then at the bottom, we got readers straight up lying about Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry being good. Reading is subjective. People find different things good. So why would they be lying? I didn't lie. I hated Happy Place, and I was very loud about it. Why would I lie about liking this one? Emily Henry has no hold on me, so like I'm not just trying to like hype her up. She's not like my friend. Like this is just some really crazy behavior. So I guess now we will be on occasion showing up with some BookThreads drama. I had planned to just put that first part in with the next TikTok video, but then this other part with these arcs came up and I was like, you know what? We can make this its own thing. So yeah, let me know what you think about this drama. Like, do you think this is as crazy as I do? And I guess on both sides, this Marianne girl needs to chill out and everyone else needs to chill out because it's not all about them. But I want to know what your thoughts are. If you have any on these situations, let me know in the comments. And if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. I would appreciate it if you subscribed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!